Well, that's a new one. 2 Frisbees at one time. Welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday. Tommy's out there working in the shop, shipping orders as usual. And we are getting a truck ready to go testing tonight. We've got a private track rental set up this evening for Marion, and we are going to go take advantage of a little early testing before mags. But first, we needed to change the oil in the truck and go over everything real close. So while we're draining the oil out of the truck, me, Billy, and the dogs all head down to Mark's to pick up an oil filter and a case of motor oil. And of course, our usual stop at Wendy's for a Frosty. Once we got back to the shop, we finished up the oil change on the truck, wrote down the date and the number of oil changes this engine's had, and we got ready to go test these new forced induction turbos at Marion. Once we had the truck warmed up, we walked out on the track to check out the track surface. And this is the same place we had just been last weekend for the Indiana versus Ohio no prep race. It was water only. But today, we're going to be pouring stripper glitter for our burnout. The track still looked pretty decent. Old Fred the track dog was keeping an eye on us. So it's time to make our first pass. Billy fires the truck up and pulls around the corner. As you can see, I'm already guiding him where I want him. The reason I do this is that I use my feet to feel the grooves in the track, the tire tracks on the track, to see where it's the stickiest. And then I line him up to do his burnout directly up those tracks. We try to keep the truck as nice and straight as possible so that the burnout marks stay the width of the truck. If the truck kicks sideways, the burnout marks will get narrower, and then that means you can't back up in a full, fresh patch of rubber. So we back the truck up carefully. As you can see here, he's right dead set in his tracks, and the tracks are laid down right in the best part of the groove. Now what you're about to see is our first pass right off the trailer with these new turbos. This is on a much lower boost setting all the way down the track than what we were on Saturday night when we ran out of turbo with the Precisions. What you're about to see here in the slow motion shot is the truck instantly plants the tire, rolls back the weight on the tire, and then the tire just slips just a little bit as it's leaving the starting line. It leaves paddle marks on the track, and it's a clear indicator that the air pressure was set just a little bit too low in the rear tires.
All right, so that was 15 pounds less dome pressure. When I had it against Perry, 4th round the other night, it had 55 in the controller, plus I added 9. So it's actually more than 15. So it's more like 24 pounds less dome pressure, and it went more mile an hour. So the turbos are definitely happier, the engine's happier, and it wants more fuel.
Okay.
So that tells you it's making more power on less boost.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and help Molly for a little bit, make her test passes, and while this is cooling off, I'll bust out the drill and the drill bits, and I'll do a little tweaky tweak on the carburetor. All right, so I took the carburetor apart and increased the power valve jet or the power valve channel restrictions pretty considerably. I think 135 to 148 in the front, and I'll have to look at my notes what the back was. I can't remember offhand, but I did not increase the main jet at all. I want to leave the main jets alone. That's a last resort. We want to just feed it more fuel through the power valve channel restrictions, because that way it keeps the transition and the burnout clean, and that's paramount of importance to me. All right, so we're getting ready to make our second hit, and I've drilled out the power valve channel restrictors considerably, front and rear. We were 4.4 on the air fuel, and we're looking for 4.2 on this run. No other changes to the boost curve, the RPM for the launch, or anything else. This is strictly a fuel curve change and nothing more. It looked like it
was 4.2 at the finish line.
How much do you love your old man?
It made a lot of power that time,
It
but
looked
it
like
slowed
it did.
down because of it.
Yeah, it almost drove to the guardrail.
Yeah, I was trying to watch the air fuel because I was.
Oh, you dink weather. That's what the GoPro's for.
Well, I don't want to blow it up during the pass.
Is that why it went so far right?
A little, some of it. Yeah, I mean, it was skating pretty good, but it might have tagged the rev limiter for 1 to 2 shift.
What's it set at?
About 8,000.
Yeah, you're gonna have to raise that to about 8,800. Hey, it's clean in the burnout.
Yeah, it sounds good in the burnout.
It's clean in the burnout. It's crystal clean in the burnout. You can definitely tell it's much happier with those turbos. Now.
It's real happy. Oh, then in the shutdown, I get a flame show.
Oh, really?
Deceleration. It's gonna be wild at night.
You happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna watch the GoPro back.
All right. So after watching all the footage that we had of the passes thus far, Billy decided to make a change in the boost ramp to be a little bit more conservative, hoping to rid the truck of some of the wheel speed going into high gear. What's the plan here, Junebug? This is going to be the last one for the night.
This time I'm gonna kind of ease into the ramp a little bit, let it get out there about 3 seconds before I really throw boost at it. Just gonna see if we can keep the tire hooked up and see what a mile an hour's.
Okay.
I'm leaving on a little bit less boost, and I'm bringing it in a little slower, so hopefully it tames it down a little bit.
So that was the last run for the night. You know, anytime you go testing a brand new part, especially on a turbo system like Billy's, you just never know what's going to happen. You know, there's a lot of people out there that sell parts and a lot of people that talk a big game, but there's not that many people who really know what they're doing like Jose does. There's a huge difference between someone who will sell you parts and treat you like a guinea pig, and then people who will really sell you what you need and be dead on exactly what they say the parts will do and how they'll do it. We feel very blessed to have so many great people helping us with these combinations of parts and pieces. We couldn't do this alone. We couldn't do it without the help of all these fantastic people, like Uncle Bob at McVeigh's, Dion Vickers at Vickers Performance Transmissions, Pete at Hughes Performance, who helps us with our converters, and so many others. I can't wait to see what this thing does at Magnolia Saturday night. So Friday morning, we get busy unhooking the trailer from last night, unloading everything out of the back of the Suburban because we need to make a trip down to Farmersville, Ohio to see Tony McKinney's shop and pick up some new tires in the center section from Mosier Engineering that we ordered a couple of weeks ago. So what are your thoughts from last night, Junior, now that you've had some time to think on it?
Well, I know that I was putting 20 pounds less dome pressure to it, and it made just a little bit under the same amount of boost. And it went a little bit faster mile-an-hour wise while it had a lot of wheel speed. So it's definitely faster, it's making more power, and you can verify that by just the fact that the air fuel was leaner. So it's pushing more air.
Yeah.
If we have to add fuel, it's obviously making more power.
So I'll get the carburetor apart and we'll add some fuel to it when we get back. But right now, what do we got to do? We got to go get some tires, right?
Yeah.
We are out of tire. We went testing last night on our old tires that have been on this truck since this engine went in. And we really knew that it should have had tires put on it, but tires are getting pretty scarce right now. They're hard to come by and we don't want to waste any good brand new tires. So we went ahead and went testing on the old tires last night and it showed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could have done better.
But that's okay, because now we're going to go get some new tires from Uncle Tony and maybe get tires put on today, and hopefully we'll be ready for tomorrow. Magnolia, right?
Yep.
Let's give Jose a call real quick and talk to him about these mud pumps he sold us that cause white smoke in the middle of the track.
Zayas.
Is this Jose?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for Jose Zayas, the fastest mouse in all of Mexico.
Oh, you got him, man. What you got?
Well, you don't sound like Jose.
Yeah, well, that's what I hear that a lot.
All right, so listen. These turbos you sent us got a problem.
All right.
They white smoke the tires in the middle of the track. What can you tell me about that?
Well, I told you what they would do. They're going to pick up quite a bit over the precisions that you had before.
Yeah, so we're having to relearn our whole program now because of you. What do you got to say for that? Listen, man, these things, he went out there on an A to B tune-up yesterday at Marion thinking we'll just be gentle, right? We're just going to be gentle and we'll sneak up on it. And this thing goes as fast on our A to B tune as it went fourth round running out of turbo on a lot less dome pressure. And we were like, on the starting line, we're watching it and we're like, I thought he said he was going to be gentle on the first pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, I told you that back pressure alone will free up that motor.
Yeah.
It frees up time. Especially in the higher RPMs. That's what makes the difference.
Well, usually we would never worry about 8,000 RPM rev limiter.
Uh-huh.
And last night it was started to white smoke the tires and he hit 8,600 and hit the chip. Just on the first or second pass, was it?
Second.
The second pass.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Probably that mid-range, you want to pull a degree or two out.
Okay.
That'll kind of soften the hit when it does hit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's just to make sure you have it pointed straight when it hits.
Okay. You got that? Make sure it's pointed straight when it hits. Roger that. All right, man. I just want to let you know they're doing good. We don't have no trouble other than this white smoking problem.
All right, brother. Well, just let me know if you need anything else. If we need to make changes, they'll let me know. We'll make some quick changes to it and overnight them back.
Okay. All right, brother.
All right.
Be good today, man.
All right, brother.
Talk to
Y'all
you
be
later.
careful.
Yep. Bye.
All right, man. Bye.
If y'all are looking for turbos or help with your program, gas, diesel, car, or truck, it makes no difference. There's one guy I suggest you call, Mr. Jose Zayas at Forced Inductions in Alabama. He knows his shit. Thank you to Jose and Mallory and everybody at Forced Inductions who reached out to help us.